An unexpected friend request. Dr. Jason Hawkins, a renowned astrophysicist with a lifelong fascination for the mysteries of the cosmos, found himself at a crossroads. Despite his groundbreaking research into the possibility of extraterrestrial life and his numerous accolades in the scientific community, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing from his life. His days were filled with endless hours in the lab, poring over data from distant galaxies and analyzing the spectral signatures of exoplanets. Yet he yearned for something more, a connection that would bridge the vast emptiness of space and fill the void in his soul. Late one evening, as Jason mindlessly scrolled through his social media feed, a peculiar profile picture caught his attention. The image depicted a mesmerizing being with iridescent skin that seemed to shimmer with the colors of a distant nebula. Her eyes, large and luminous, held an otherworldly wisdom that seemed to pierce the very fabric of reality. Intrigued by this enigmatic presence, Jason clicked on the profile, revealing the user's name, Lyra Celestia. Her bio, written in an elegant script that seemed to dance across the screen, read, "Emissary from the Andromeda Galaxy, seeking to forge connections and share knowledge with the enlightened minds of Earth." At first, Jason dismissed the profile as an elaborate hoax or a clever marketing ploy designed to attract the attention of gullible science enthusiasts. However, as he delved deeper into Lyra's posts and interactions, he found himself captivated by the depth and complexity of her ideas. Her insights into the nature of the universe was so profound and intellectually stimulating that Jason began to question whether she could possibly be a mere human masquerading as an extraterrestrial being. Unable to contain his curiosity, Jason took a leap of faith and sent Lyra a friend request, accompanied by a carefully crafted message. "Greetings, Lyra. I am Dr. Jason Hawkins, an astrophysicist from Earth with a deep-seated passion for exploring the mysteries of the cosmos. Your posts have captivated me, and I find myself drawn to your unique perspectives on the nature of reality. If you are willing, I would be honored to engage in a friendly exchange of ideas and learn more about your world and the knowledge you possess." To Jason's astonishment, Lyra responded within minutes, her message glowing with an ethereal light that seemed to emanate from the screen itself. "Salutations, Dr. Hawkins. I am delighted to make your acquaintance and am most impressed by your credentials and intellectual pursuits. As an emissary of the Zephyrian Confederation, my mission is to establish meaningful connections with the enlightened minds of Earth and foster a greater understanding between our civilizations. I would be most pleased to share my knowledge with you and learn about your world in return." And thus began an extraordinary friendship that would forever alter the trajectory of Jason's life. Night after night, they exchanged messages, delving into the deepest mysteries of the universe and exploring the very foundations of existence itself. Jason found himself enthralled by Lyra's warmth, intelligence, and otherworldly charm, and he eagerly anticipated each new message, marveling at the way she challenged his preconceptions and expanded his understanding of the cosmos. As their bond deepened, Jason felt a sense of excitement and purpose that had been missing from his life for longer than he cared to admit. He found himself staying up late into the night, eagerly awaiting Lyra's responses and pouring his heart and mind into their conversations. It was as if he had found a kindred spirit, a being who understood him on a level that transcended the boundaries of human connection. However, as Jason would soon discover, his relationship with Lyra was destined to take a most unexpected turn, one that would bridge the vast expanse of space, challenge the very foundations of his beliefs, and ignite a love that defied the laws of the universe itself. Little did he know that their innocent online friendship was merely the prelude to a cosmic adventure that would test the limits of his courage, his intellect, and his heart. A fascinating alien culture. As Jason and Lyra's friendship blossomed like a rare celestial flower, he found himself increasingly captivated by her vivid descriptions of life on Zephyria, her home planet nestled in the heart of the Andromeda Galaxy. Lyra painted a picture of a world that seemed to be the very embodiment of a utopian paradise, a harmonious blend of advanced technology, telepathic communication, and spiritual enlightenment that far surpassed anything Jason had ever encountered in his wildest dreams. On Zephyria, our cities are not mere collections of inanimate structures, but living, breathing entities that exist in perfect harmony with the natural world, Lyra explained, her words weaving a tapestry of wonder in Jason's mind. Our buildings are not constructed from cold, lifeless materials, but are grown from organic crystals that resonate with the planet's energy fields, creating a symbiotic relationship between our civilization and the environment that sustains us. Jason marveled at the concept of a society so attuned to its surroundings, where the boundaries between the artificial and the natural had been blurred to the point of non-existence. He couldn't help but contrast Zephyria's utopian vision with the sprawling concrete jungles and environmental degradation that plagued Earth, and he felt a pang of envy for a world that seemed to have achieved a perfect balance between progress and preservation. As their conversations delved deeper into the intricacies of Zephyrian culture, Lyra revealed the extraordinary abilities that set her species apart from the inhabitants of Earth. Zephyrians are born with an innate capacity for telepathy, she explained, her words resonating with a gentle, soothing cadence that seemed to emanate from the very depths of Jason's soul. From the moment we emerge from the crystalline wombs of our mothers, we learn to communicate through thoughts and emotions, forming psychic bonds that transcend the limitations of spoken language and physical distance. This allows us to share experiences, knowledge, and feelings on a level of intimacy and understanding that defies the boundaries of individual consciousness. Jason was astounded by the implications of a telepathic society, his mind reeling with the possibilities and challenges such a mode of communication would entail. He imagined a world without misunderstandings or deception, where empathy and compassion reigned supreme, and conflicts could be resolved through a mutual understanding of each other's innermost thoughts and desires. It must be incredible to be so connected to one another, he mused, his voice tinged with a mixture of awe and longing. On Earth, we often struggle to communicate effectively, leading to misunderstandings, conflict, and isolation. The idea of a society where everyone is truly understood and accepted for who they are, it's almost too beautiful to imagine. Lyra's response was filled with the wisdom and compassion of a being who had witnessed the rise and fall of countless civilizations across the vastness of space and time. Every species evolves according to its unique circumstances and challenges, she replied, her words carrying the weight of 1,000 lifetimes. Humans may not possess the gift of telepathy, but you have developed language, art, and technology as a means of bridging the gaps between individuals and cultures. Your diversity and adaptability are what make you truly remarkable in the eyes of the cosmos. It is through your struggles and triumphs that you have become the fascinating and resilient species that you are today. As their discussions ventured into the realms of science, philosophy, and spirituality, Jason found himself questioning long-held assumptions about the nature of reality and his place within the grand scheme of the universe. Lyra spoke of the Zephyrian concept of the cosmic web, an interconnected network of consciousness that spanned the entirety of existence, linking all sentient beings across the vastness of space and time. We believe that all life, whether born of flesh or energy, is ultimately connected through the intricate tapestry of the cosmic web, Lyra explained, her words resonating with a profound sense of unity and purpose. It is this web that gives rise to our telepathic abilities and forms the foundation of our spiritual beliefs. Through the cosmic web, we seek to understand our place in the grand design of the universe and to forge connections with other enlightened beings who share our quest for knowledge and understanding. Jason was utterly captivated by the idea of a universal consciousness that transcended the boundaries of individual minds and physical reality. He found himself drawn to the Zephyrian philosophy, which seemed to offer a path to a higher understanding of the cosmos and his own existence. As he delved deeper into the mysteries of the cosmic web, he felt a growing sense of connection to Lyra and her people, as if he had finally found a piece of himself that had been missing all along. Little did Jason know that his fascination with Zephyrian culture and his deepening bond with Lyra would soon lead him down a path of no return, a journey that would test the limits of his understanding, challenge his beliefs about the nature of love and companionship, and ultimately bring him face to face with a destiny that had been written in the stars long before he ever set foot on Earth. The surprise arrival on Earth. As the weeks turned into months, Jason and Lyra's connection grew stronger with each passing day. Their conversations, once a mere exchange of ideas and curiosities, had blossomed into a deep, soul-stirring bond that transcended the vast distances of space and time. Jason found himself constantly marveling at the way Lyra seemed to understand him on a level that no one else ever had, as if she could peer directly into his heart and mind, seeing the very essence of his being. Despite the joy and fulfillment he found in their friendship, Jason couldn't shake the nagging sense that something was missing, a yearning for a connection that went beyond the confines of a computer screen and the limitations of the digital world. He longed to see Lyra in person, to gaze upon her otherworldly beauty with his own eyes, to hear the melodic cadence of her voice without the distortion of digital transmission, and to feel the warmth of her presence in a way that could never be replicated through mere words on a screen. One evening, as Jason sat at his computer, his heart heavy with the weight of his unspoken desires, a message from Lyra appeared on his screen, glowing with an intensity that seemed to illuminate the darkened room. With trembling hands, he opened the message, his breath catching in his throat as he read the words that would forever change the course of his life. "My dearest Jason," the message began, "I have a confession to make. Over the course of our friendship, I found myself drawn to you in ways that I never thought possible. The connection we share, the depth of our understanding, and the way you have opened my mind and heart to new possibilities, it has awakened a feeling within me that I can no longer ignore. I have come to realize that my mission on Earth goes beyond mere cultural exchange and scientific curiosity. The truth is, I have fallen in love with you, Jason, and I can no longer bear the thought of being separated from you by the vast expanse of space." Jason's heart raced as he read on, his mind reeling with the implications of Lyra's declaration. "I have made a decision," the message continued, "one that will change both of our lives forever. I have chosen to leave Zephyria and make the journey to Earth, to be with you in person and explore the depths of our connection in a way that can only be done when two souls are united in physical proximity. I understand that this may come as a shock, and I do not expect you to make any decisions hastily. But know this, my beloved, I am willing to risk everything, to leave behind the only world I have ever known, to be with you and to build a future together, no matter the obstacles we may face." Jason sat back in his chair, his mind swirling with a maelstrom of emotions, shock, elation, fear, and an overwhelming sense of love that threatened to consume him entirely. He had never dared to dream that Lyra might reciprocate his feelings, let alone make the monumental decision to leave her home planet and journey across the stars to be with him. The enormity of her sacrifice, the depth of her commitment, and the sheer audacity of her plan left him breathless and humbled. With shaking fingers, Jason typed out his response, pouring his heart and soul into every word. "My beloved Lyra," he wrote, "I am overwhelmed by your declaration and the magnitude of your decision. I have long harbored feelings for you that go beyond the bounds of mere friendship, but I never dared to hope that you might feel the same way. The thought of being with you, of holding you in my arms and looking into your eyes, fills me with a joy and longing that I have never known before. I know that the path ahead will be fraught with challenges and uncertainties, but I am willing to face them all, to stand by your side and build a life together, no matter where the journey may lead us." And so, with a few keystrokes and a heart full of love and determination, Jason sealed his fate and set in motion a chain of events that would reshape the very fabric of his existence. In the days that followed, he threw himself into the preparations for Lyra's arrival, his mind consumed with the logistics of welcoming an extraterrestrial being into his life and his world. He knew that there would be obstacles to overcome, questions to answer, and risks to be taken. The prospect of explaining Lyra's presence to his colleagues, his family, and the world at large loomed large in his mind, but he was determined to face each challenge with the same unwavering commitment that had brought them together across the vastness of space. As the day of Lyra's arrival drew near, Jason's excitement and trepidation reached a fever pitch. He found himself pacing the halls of his laboratory, his mind racing with 1,000 scenarios, each more fantastical than the last. Would she arrive in a gleaming spacecraft, descending from the heavens like a goddess of old? Or would she simply appear on his doorstep, having traversed the gulf between galaxies through some arcane technology beyond human understanding? In the end, it was neither of these things. On a crisp autumn evening, as Jason sat on a bench in a quiet park near his home, a shimmering figure emerged from the shadows, her iridescent skin glowing with an ethereal light that seemed to chase away the darkness. As she approached, Jason's heart leaped in his chest, his breath catching in his throat as he beheld the breathtaking beauty of the woman he had come to love across the infinite reaches of space. "Lyra," he whispered, his voice trembling with emotion as he rose to his feet, his arms outstretched in a gesture of welcome and longing. "Jason," she replied, her voice a melodic symphony that seemed to resonate with the very essence of his being. "I am here, my love, and I am never leaving your side again." As they embraced, their bodies melding together as if they had been crafted from the same celestial clay, Jason knew that his life would never be the same. He had embarked upon a journey that would test the very limits of his understanding, challenge his beliefs about the nature of love and companionship, and ultimately lead him to a destiny that had been written in the stars long before he ever drew his first breath. But in that moment, none of that mattered. All that existed was the warmth of Lyra's embrace, the soft caress of her skin against his, and the knowledge that they had found each other across the vast expanse of the universe, two souls united by a love that defied the very laws of space and time. Navigating uncharted territory as Jason delved deeper into his research, he began to uncover tantalizing clues about the true nature of Lyra's people and their place in the cosmos. Ancient texts and obscure scientific papers hinted at a long history of contact between Earth and the Zephyrian civilization, a secret history that had been carefully hidden from the eyes of the world for centuries. The more he learned, the more Jason realized that his relationship with Lyra was not just a chance encounter between two lonely souls, but a destiny that had been set in motion long before either of them had been born. But even as he marveled at the incredible implications of his discoveries, Jason couldn't shake the growing sense of unease that gnawed at the edges of his consciousness. He knew that the more he uncovered about Lyra's true nature and the history of her people, the greater the risk of exposure, and the more dangerous the consequences of their secret becoming known. As the weeks turned into months, Jason and Lyra found themselves locked in a delicate dance of secrecy and subterfuge, their every move carefully choreographed to avoid detection and maintain the illusion of normalcy. They spent long hours discussing the intricacies of human behavior and culture, with Lyra absorbing every detail with the same voracious appetite for knowledge that had first drawn Jason to her. But even as they reveled in the joy of each other's company and the thrill of their forbidden love, the specter of discovery loomed ever larger on the horizon. Close calls and near misses became increasingly frequent, with Jason's colleagues and friends growing more suspicious of his sudden change in behavior and the mysterious woman who seemed to occupy his every waking thought. Through it all, Lyra remained a beacon of strength and determination, her love for Jason a guiding light in the darkness of uncertainty. She refused to let the fear of the unknown deter her from her purpose, her commitment to their relationship unwavering in the face of every obstacle and challenge. But even the strongest of bonds can be tested by the weight of secrets and the pressure of an unyielding reality. As the truth of Lyra's identity threatened to unravel the carefully constructed web of lies and half-truths they had woven around themselves, Jason found himself faced with an impossible choice: continue living a lie and risk losing everything he held dear, or reveal the truth and face the consequences of a world unprepared for the reality of life beyond the stars. The choice that changes everything. As the months passed and the strain of secrecy took its toll, Jason and Lyra found themselves at a crossroads, the weight of their choices bearing down upon them like the gravity of 1,000 suns. They had always known that their love was a fragile thing, a delicate balance of hope and fear, passion and sacrifice. But now, As the walls of their carefully constructed reality began to crumble around them, they were forced to confront the true cost of their desire and the price they were willing to pay for a future together. For Jason, the choice was clear. He had already sacrificed so much to be with Lyra, his career, his reputation, his very sense of self, and he knew that he would gladly give up everything else to keep her by his side. But even as his heart yearned for the certainty of their love, his mind recoiled at the thought of the chaos and turmoil that would surely follow if the truth of her identity were to be revealed. Lyra, too, found herself torn between the demands of her heart and the dictates of her heritage. She had known from the moment she first set foot on Earth that her presence would bring great change and upheaval to the world she had come to love, but she had never imagined the depth of the connection she would forge with Jason or the strength of the bond that would bind them together across the vast expanse of space and time. As they sat together in the quiet stillness of Jason's home, their hands entwined and their hearts beating in sync, they knew that the time had come to make their choice. With heavy hearts and a sense of grim determination, they began to plan for a future that would test the very limits of their love and challenge everything they thought they knew about themselves and the universe they inhabited. They knew that the path ahead would be fraught with danger and uncertainty, that they would be forced to confront the prejudices and fears of a world not yet ready to embrace the truth of life beyond the stars. But they also knew that they had each other and that their love would be the guiding light that would lead them through the darkness and into a future bright with promise and possibility. In the end, the choice was simple. They would reveal the truth of Lyra's identity to the world, would stand together in the face of whatever consequences might come, and would fight for the right to live and love as they chose, no matter the cost. As they stepped out into the bright light of a new day, their hands clasped tightly and their hearts filled with a fierce determination, Jason and Lyra knew that they were embarking on a journey that would change the course of history and shape the destiny of two worlds forever intertwined. They had no way of knowing what the future might hold, but they knew that they would face it together, bound by a love that had crossed the vastness of space and time to bring them to this moment of truth and transformation. And so, with a final triumphant kiss and a whispered promise of forever, they set out to meet their fate head-on, ready to face whatever challenges and obstacles might come, secure in the knowledge that their love would be the force that would sustain them and guide them through the uncharted territories of a brave new world waiting to be born. Less than and artifact greater than,